Fans of Blackhammer organization.
But, I think based on your attire, the more appropriate soundtrack for this would have clearly been Raspberry Beret from Prince.
Okay, yeah, so I had to skip a little bit ahead there, and as well as this is part 2 because the other video accidentally got shut off. So yeah, part 2, we're still at it, but let's continue.
Look at that clenched fist. I mean, isn't that supposed to be the core of the Black Power movement? That fist looks like it's not formed correctly.
Raised fist, not clenched fist, my champ. Raised fist. Raised fist.
It feels like a lot of knuckles, and it's not intimidating in the slightest, even with that ring on.
And we have turned it into our...
This man is not intimidating in the slightest. Come on, Devin. Like, look, it's a slow content time right now due to the whole COVID thing. But can we not pretend as if we're not giving him oxygen, as opposed to somebody legitimately takes him seriously and he can somehow amass the type of following in which he envisions himself being a leader of. This guy's delusional, or he's just a damn good actor. Either ways, the seriousness in which to take someone like this, because the type of killers that he'd require for his type of revolution, they would not follow him worth a shit. I can guarantee you that.
How is a global pandemic a solution? What possibly could have been your problem? Are you a ventilator company who just had a huge number of ventilators in storage and couldn't sell them? That's the only way that would have made sense.
COVID-19 has rocked white power to its very core.
That is a boiling hot take. COVID-19 has destroyed or put a dent in white power. Disease started in China, spread around the world, every continent. Well, I guess from a certain perspective, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and
the economic, how the economy, the stock market, and how that plays out. I don't think it's color coded, guys. I really don't. It's color coded. It's color coded in green. But as far as white power, white supremacy, let me tell you something about the elites and the elite of the elite. They come in all shades, my guy. I don't understand how people are so wrapped up in the Crayola game, to whereas you'll be like, oh yeah, well, this just because this person is of a certain skin tone, then they clearly have this they clearly are of the underclass. And that sentiment, that energy, that's what really needs to go more than anything else.
White people don't like Corona, so maybe you and Corona should get along? We are deep into the thinking process of a dude who might as well be the mayor of Bell Curvetopia.
Or a chick, because let's be real, is it not obvious that this man likes to imbibe himself a penis or two? So thusly, we've had this conversation once. A man's essence enters another dude, the dude whose essence has been entered, and the dude who's doing the essence entering are no longer of their right minds. And thusly, I can't take them but so seriously.
The economic system of white power, from Europe to Australia to Canada to the United Snakes of America.
I see what you did there.
Me too.
Is all crumbling down. But it is not just being done because of this virus.
Excuse me, aren't you from Florida or Atlanta or somewhere? If white people go down...
Honestly, do you want to check the rings on this one, go back even further? Probably someplace his people probably come from someplace even further out, probably a first or second generation. No, they aren't of the same history, right? So thusly, they come through, they spew whatever bullshit they have to spew. And Mr. Tracy, if we gonna keep it a buck, people put dollars in their pockets look more like you than look like me. Can you dig it?
You go down.
COVID-19 is just the last straw on the camel's back. But all those other straws was us breaking down white power.
What do you mean, us? Okay. Age long set aside. Like, you sit here and complain about the exact same power structures that you're talking about you've been breaking down. How and in what way? Well, okay, you know what? Actually, with our government here in New Jersey being so happy to let, prisoners out of jail because of COVID and the like, and I mean, you got people really sitting there pondering it. You know what? Maybe there's some credence. My goodness. These lunatics have won. The feminine minded, as I talk about in so many videos, because the distinction is so damn clear that it's kind of infuriating that a lot of people just like refuse to recognize it. The feminine minded are just like, yeah, oh, let prisoners out of prison while simultaneously locking up new people. Wait, for disobeying the dictator Murphy. You guys with me? Like, you see how like we are now in a circle of bullshit mentalities, and that's at a state level, right? That's just New Jersey, not the rest of the country. Thank God for the president. But even with the whole stimulus thing, that's a little bit on the iffy side, if I may say so myself. But that's a whole other video, whole other conversation. Deal is that, sir, the systems that were in place before you got here are going to be systems that stay in place once you're long gone. All right? All we can do is our freaking best and not be just completely ludicrous.
Oh, okay. COVID-19 put the finishing touches on us, proponents of white power. But for sure, Gazi Kodzo loosened the lid. Yeah, you might have finished it off, but he did the real work. So don't try to take credit for it just because you're the final straw.
Little bit by little bit. From the rebellions from Mike Brown from Ferguson.
Yeah, look at this. I mean...
Really, Mike Brown? All of the... Like, it's like he merely exists to push the narrative. The same narrative from the same folks who, made connected Colin Kaepernick to Ferguson and all these other media outlets that really makes it impossible to trust them now during this quote unquote pandemic. Yeah, you are a pawn, Kodzo. You are a useful pawn.
This Molotov cocktail did a lot to thwart us. I mean, he chucked that thing probably at police who were there to...
That wasn't no damn Kodzo that did that. Come on, Devin. It wouldn't even have nowhere near the form if it was Kodzo chucking a Molotov.
To maintain order and law and protect people in his community. But yeah, what a majestic and noble thing this guy was all about. Bravo. That's just an American hero.
From the rebellions to Baltimore from Freddie Gray. From the rebellions and resistance of the Palestinian people.
Wow, that like I said, me and this gentleman are not affiliated, because when it comes to all that over there, you know where that's at? That's over there. That ain't my problem. I'm not to, hey, I want everybody to be okay. But at the same time, that once again, long before I got here, more than likely, long after I'm gone. So, yeah, well, like, why are you even trying to tie all this shit together? We, like, us here in the States, we have state problems to deal with. And, that's one of the main components of individuals such as Mr. Kodzo here, because, what they do is they tie all of the intersectionality within them, and they give a lot of people a license to draw 2 and 2 together and make 6 when it's like, wait, no, that's 4.
Do you realize how troubling and sad it is that he just included the Palestinians into this? It would be interesting to see how Israel is doing with COVID-19. I think and hear and trust that they're doing pretty damn well, all things considered. And I wonder how they're doing out in Gaza and in the Palestinian territories. I wonder if...
You are a sweetheart. Me, I'm wondering when can I get my ass back to work, because I like making money.
One's going to do a critique of how the Palestinian authorities are handling this versus the Israeli ones. That'll be interesting. How quickly will that bleed into a fuck Israel narrative?
No. Because if it was a bomb, the alarms will go off, because all these hotels have bomb detectors.
Yeah, I like the Fifth Element, but like seriously, it is the equivalent of putting Chris Tucker in a dress. Like that, and that's how they like us. That's how they like us. So just as effeminate as the day is wide.
Right? From the rebellion and resistance of the people in Chile.
It's pronounced Chile. What on earth would make you
Smash the Chilean chick. Yeah.
say Chile?
From the rebellion and the resistance of the people of Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, and Syria.
It's a really weird, retarded jaunt around the globe of current events for him.
When in reality, yeah, our problems are here. Our problems remain here. It's that intersectionality shit that is so poisonous, that's been very poisonous to the American culture. Because it's not a matter of not having any type of compassion or not caring about other people, but there needs to be a focus home. There needs to be the focus really needs, because the United States is a really big place, comparably speaking, and so thusly there needs to be more focus here. But that's how you tie it all together now, isn't it?
Include Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Does he think that bolsters his case? Is he talking to people in Afghanistan? Imagine there's some queer bleep out in Syria who's behind this movement. Well, now he's on board, I guess.
From the rebellion of indigenous people on the pipeline in North Dakota.
More like they're on the pipe. That's more true to form. What do they have to do with this? The water saviors? What were they called? The water protectors?
From the rebellion of indigenous people in Canada. We, African and colonized.
These people aren't doing jack shit. Aside from having women with mustaches? I guess that's normal.
Yeah, that's very weird. This has gone into a very strange place.
Yeah. I mean, just Chief Fu Manchu there with the bullhorn. Yeah, I don't think these people are at the vanguard of any protest anytime soon.
African and colonized people around the world are the reason white power is falling to.
Or maybe they are the pillars. And I don't think that ever crossed his mind. Not a single time, because I mean, I can't help but feel the guy is making money off of this one way, shape, or the other. Just like Dr. Umar, there's people that are sitting there willing to kick in. Really funny, because we're bringing this one to an end. But before we do, the comedian Ryan Davis dropped his Cash App. And you had a lot of people in his comments like, yo, like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, donating money to you. But the deal is that there's a lot of people who do, and the people who were mostly asking like, yo, what the F? Yeah, they were a little bit more melanated, whereas the people who, kicked them a little bit, more likely a little less so, So when it comes to these types that hop online and start, like, oh my goodness, my revolution and all this other stuff. And then this guy, like, he's talking about blackness. His thing is called Blackhammer. But what's he do? He takes it all over the world and a whole bunch of stuff that particularly here in the United States with the issues that are prevalent within our own community have nothing to do with us. You can see the puppet, you can see the strings, like, just coming dead off of this guy. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to give videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and BitChute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? First and foremost, hustle. If people willing to pay you for your shit, get the money you can get. That's not what I'm saying. But when it's a destructive, that's particularly to like Ryan Davis. I was just using him as an example. But as far as the destructive shit that goes along with, not looking, you couple that with not looking out for our own, like, there's just pure communist socialist insanity, and anybody paying legitimate attention to this and not just doing it and not just messing with them unironically, I mean, seriously, you need help I can't give you. Like, you really do. But you may feel differently. You might be like because clearly in other videos there are people who are trying to make the case for Godzo, whatever the hell this guy's name is, but I would love for you to, try again, because it's not working for me. It's really not. And I know that the whole alphabetical thing isn't supposed to, weigh on the decision. But if you want to sit here and talk about people who are presenting themselves as leaders within the quote unquote black community, I'm sorry, but that is going to weigh. It's going to have to weigh, because leadership, like true leadership, I don't believe can come from the feminine. Yeah, it's just not the way it is. Can a woman, without question, is that her place, particularly when it comes to the order of things, or how, like, the natural order of things? No, not at all. And it also, and I think that applies doubly for men who place themselves in such positions to, I think you guys get what I'm saying. All right, so let me know what you think in the comments, okay? And until the next one.